Intermittent fasting has been getting a ton of buzz in the health world, in the wellness industry, but is it something that's actually really going to help you with your weight loss or your wellness goals? Do you need to be fasting every day, and is intermittent fasting really even worth it? Today I'm breaking down the details of the benefits of intermittent fasting, when it really starts to work, and if it's actually worth it in today's video. Alright guys, if you're new to my channel and you don't know who I am, my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance. On my channel, I'm typically talking about the science-backed and holistic methods that you can use in order to achieve your wellness dreams. So if you have a wellness goal in mind, make sure you subscribe. Okay, but what are the benefits of intermittent fasting? Most people come to intermittent fasting because they are looking for a weight loss goal. There are the longevity aspects with autophagy and improved gut health, but most people realistically are coming to intermittent fasting because they are looking to achieve weight loss. And the reason why intermittent fasting can be really helpful for achieving a weight loss goal is because it actually helps your body to basically relearn how to use fat as fuel, or what's called metabolic switching. So you're switching from using fat back to using glucose, or going back and forth. Most people are always going to sort of be stuck in this using glucose as an energy source, but with intermittent fasting and not eating all the time throughout the day, it basically makes it so that you're more easily able to shift back into fat burning as a fuel source, which of course with weight loss is exactly what we're looking for. Because whenever you're going to be eating, you are going to be causing your body to secrete the storing hormone insulin. Insulin is kind of like that switch that tells your body when it's going to be storing or when it's going to be burning. And every time we eat, we are going to be secreting insulin. So if you think about it, it kind of makes sense how you can see that intermittent fasting is going to be useful for a weight loss goal, because with intermittent fasting, you're essentially just not eating for a portion of the day. That means that you're also not going to be eating as frequently, because think about it, if you're eating, let's say starting at 8 a.m. and then every couple hours from there, you're constantly secreting that storing hormone insulin as a result. That means that switch for storing is always turned on. And especially if weight loss is something that you're looking for, it's really an uphill battle from there. Whereas if you can reduce the frequency of how often you're eating, like you are when you're using intermittent fasting daily, then you're able to more easily turn that switch off or on. So going back to that metabolic flexibility, and shift your body back into fat burning instead. And there have been a few reviews on intermittent fasting where they take a look at all of the various studies that have been done on various types of intermittent fasting, and it found that about 85% of those studies actually resulted in significant weight loss, which is a pretty impressive number. And what's even more impressive is that a more recent 2020 review of intermittent fasting found that the majority of that weight loss came from fat loss, which is something that's hugely important, because when you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, you don't want most of your weight loss coming from your muscles. You want it coming from fat. That's a much more sustainable long-term approach to weight loss, and you're actually going to be seeing the body composition results that you're looking for. And looking at more of the wellness benefits of intermittent fasting, it's even been found that having a daily fasting period between 12 to 20 hours a day, which 12 really isn't that much of a fasting period, can have some really positive benefits to insulin sensitivity. And considering how type 2 diabetes is such a huge problem in America, this is a huge result. But remember, not all of those studies on intermittent fasting actually resulted in weight loss, which is really important to keep in mind, because that goes to show that what you eat as well during that eating window when you're using intermittent fasting really matters. And this is a huge common mistake I see all the time when someone is new to intermittent fasting. They think, oh, I can just eat whatever I want during my fast or during my eating window and I'll still be able to achieve my weight loss goals. But not only can this have some pretty bad health effects later on, especially if what you're eating is very, very low quality or very high in sugar and refined carbohydrates, but it also can actually counter any of the weight loss benefits you would have received with intermittent fasting itself. And I have dived a lot deeper into these strategies on how you can actually adjust your eating window and what you're eating within your eating window to maximize weight loss results with intermittent fasting. You can check that out right here. Okay, so when does intermittent fasting actually start to work? Now, one study found that with just 4 weeks of intermittent fasting, the study participants were able to lose about 2.2% of their original weight. And this was in those who were older than 65 years old. And then another study showed that even in those who were type 2 diabetics, that when they used a roughly 16 to 17 hour daily fasting protocol, after just 2 weeks, they were able to lose 1.4% of their original body weight. And personally, from working with clients and with the A&Ps, I found that there can be even better weight loss results when you actually are looking at what you're eating during your eating window as well, especially if you're focused on protein, fat, and fiber-rich foods that are going to stabilize the blood glucose level, help the body better turn back on that fat burning mechanism. Plus, a huge perk with emphasizing protein, fat, and fiber is it's going to make it so that you're not hungry, which makes it so that that it's a lot easier to maintain what you're doing. For example, there's Corolla, who's a scientist in Canada, and in just 6 months, she lost about 33 pounds. And then Ron, who lost over 70 pounds in 6 months. And the biggest thing that they'll note is that they're able to eat foods that they actually liked and felt satiated with and felt good with, which is something that is pretty foreign for a lot of people trying to actually achieve a weight loss goal. They think that you have to feel hungry all the time in order to actually achieve a weight loss goal. This is a really great example of how you don't have to feel hungry in order to achieve a weight loss goal. By actually eating foods that promote satiety and pairing that with intermittent fasting makes it so that you're not going to be hungry and you're better going to utilize fat as fuel anyway. I mean, protein stimulates the satiety hormone peptide YY, fat stimulates the satiety hormone CCK or cholecystokinin, and then fiber helps you to feel full more in that immediate moment. So it actually acts on those stretch mechanisms within your stomach that actually signals to your brain that you're not hungry anymore and that you don't need to keep eating. And outside of weight loss, there's a lot of other really great noted benefits with intermittent fasting, especially on what the A&Ps have reported on significantly decreased bloating. That's probably the number one thing that most people come back saying that they notice within 24 hours of utilizing intermittent fasting. And then of course, increased energy levels and improved bowel movements. In fact, you can check out my interview with Corolla where we did go over some of the benefits she received and how she utilized intermittent fasting in order to achieve her weight loss goals with this video right here. Now the big question, do you need to use intermittent fasting every day to see results? Now that 2020 review did state and did find that the more adherent someone was and the more often they used intermittent fasting, the better weight loss results they were going to receive. But it's not like if you're using intermittent fasting 5 days a week and not using it the other 2 days of the week, that's all of the benefits suddenly stop. All it's saying is that the more often you're using it, the more of the results that you're going to see more frequently. But really, if you aren't able to stick with the schedule, so if you aim to have it for that 7 days a week, but you aren't able to have that because of, whatever life may bring up, then ultimately you're just going to stop using intermittent fasting altogether and see zero of the benefits. If being able to stick with intermittent fasting and incorporating it into your schedule for the long term means that you're only using it for 4 days, 5 days a week, then that is better than zero, which is why it's really important to make sure that you are adjusting your intermittent fasting schedule and your intermittent fasting eating window each day. Make sure that it actually fits your schedule and fits your lifestyle. Otherwise, it's never going to work because you can't maintain it. Whatever the lifestyle change that you're making, it needs to actually fit you. Otherwise, it's just simply not going to work. So is intermittent fasting even worth it? I mean, clearly there's a lot of really great study benefits as well as actual testimonials that we can see where people are seeing a lot of really great results from using intermittent fasting. But from what the research is showing, as well as from my own personal experience as a nutritionist, if you're just focused on intermittent fasting and not what you're actually eating during your eating window, then it's really going to be an uphill battle and you likely are going to stop seeing results or not see results at all in the first place. Adjusting your meals to help mimic the benefits of intermittent fasting so that you can more easily shift back and forth between burning fat as fuel and burning glucose or carbohydrates as fuel is particularly crucial, especially if you are looking for those long-term results and for just feeling good. In fact, there are 5 super common mistakes I'm seeing all the time that people are making with their intermittent fasting eating window. Highly recommend that you check out those next right here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love the science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.